you to take a good look at the man next to Justin Taquet Magnetic Trudeau. This man right here. This emissary of the devil. This spawn of hell. This terrorist. He's worse than a terrorist. This is Omar Al-Gabra. He is I believe he's the Minister of Health. I believe. I want to make sure I have everything correct. I'm looking it up right now. I do believe he is the Minister of, no. He's the Minister of Transportation. He's the Minister of Transportation. But get this. He has now he is now forcing this guy here. I want you to train people who work for the subways in Toronto, TTC, people who work for the subways in Montreal, and the subways or the light rail transits in Vancouver, and you airline workers out there, all of you people out there, this devil may be responsible for you and your children, your little babies, starving in the street, because he has now said that anyone who works in the rail industry or in the airline industry who don't take the vaccine will be fired from their jobs. This guy, and this one here, we all know, Justin the tack-headed, tar-faced, swift-foot magnetic Trudeau. This is the son of Satan. This is the son of Satan. He's in charge of the whole thing. This guy is the subordinate, but this guy is the one who told Omar to do this to Canadian families, to millions of Canadian families all over the country. And Justin, Ms. Andrew, please put that picture back up there again. I want people to take a good look at the devils of our world. I want people to look. I want your eyes to burn and bleed and spice up when you look at these pictures. I want Canucks to take a good look. I don't want to hear you telling me nothing about take these people off of the computer. I want you to keep looking at them. I want your heart to burn. I want you to get heartburn to look at these guys. And then maybe we'll start to do something about this. Justin the tack-head Magnetic Trudeau. Look at him. Look at him. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at the evil. Look at him. Look at him. And I've got many sources who say he's a child molester as well when he was a teacher. We won't get into that right now. In fact, let's go. Okay, we can't zoom in. Yes, zoom in. This man here, this son of Satan, he has now said, if you work for the government, you had better take the vaccine. And if you don't take it, you will be fired. This is just breaking now. You will be fired. Your children will have no source of food. Your family will starve. Your home will be repossessed. And you'll be on the streets. You may even, if you're lucky, be in a shelter if they're not all clogged up. Take a good look. This is what you voted for, Canadians. This is what you voted for. So if you work for the government, and you say, well, you know, I don't feel comfortable taking this vaccine. I've had family members, especially minority people. I've had family members who have taken vaccines in the past and it ended up being eugenics. I'm not against the vaccine, but I'm against forced taking of any medication. If someone told you, if the government came out today and said everybody has to take Flintstone tablets, I'd be against it. Because there's never been a medication out there on the planet which man has created, which everybody on Earth can take. Heck, there isn't even a medication on the face of the planet that God has created that everyone can take. I mean, weed, for example, marijuana, that's God's medicine, provided men don't put anything extra in it, but that's God's medicine. There are people out there who can't smoke it. It's a leaf. They're allergic to it. You can't tell me that a medication, which, by the way, was made very rapidly, Operation Warp Speed, Donald Trump, a medication that was created very quickly and swiftly. Everybody who works in government, no matter your religious beliefs or anything like that, even though the NHS in England said people who have allergic reactions to any medication would be advised not to take a vaccine. Even though you had many politicians when Trump was in power that said, I will not take the vaccine because it was made by Trump. And these vaccines were made by Trump in Operation Warp Speed. Doesn't matter. I'm not against the vaccine. I'm against the forced taking of it. And anybody who works in the government of Canada, anybody who works in the rail industry, anybody who works in the airline industry, if you don't take this medication, we're going to fire you and you will not have any source of income. You will not have any way to feed your family. You will just be one of those useless eaters that starves out in the street. I think this whole thing is all a bit of population control. So here's what I'm going to say. First of all, if you don't want to take this medication, if you want to take it, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead. I don't care. Take it. I'm never going to take it. I remember I crossed the border yesterday and the border woman said, have you been double vaccinated? I said, I haven't even been single vaccinated. Come do something now. She had no choice but to let me go through. I'm Canadian born. Do something about it. But if you don't want to, and many people in my family have been vaccinated, that's fine. I don't care. But if you don't want to take this vaccine, for the sake of humanity, don't take it. Because if you do bend to pressure, then you're just allowing these guys to decide to do more and more and more stuff. Sooner or later, they're going to tell us if we don't drink out of the toilet, we'll be fired. Then what are we going to do? We can't let them get away with this. These guys, this is population control. Because we've heard many stories of people who've gotten allergic reactions to these vaccines, blood clots, all this sort of stuff. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with everybody, but again, it just proves my point that there is no medication on the planet which everyone can take and nothing will happen to you. You are setting the stage for deaths, and apparently there have already been deaths and they're being covered up. I think this is population control. I think this is Agenda 2030. So before I go off topic here, first of all, if you don't want to take the medication, don't take it. Don't take it. Now, I made a video earlier which said to quit. I say let them fire you. Let Justin Atake and Macdaddy Trudeau and Omar Al-Gabra fire you. Let these two people fire you. Let's get back to them. Let's get back to them. Mr. Engineer, please, can we get back to these devils here from the pit of hell? Can we get back to these people who want to starve our children and want to kill our families and want to make us poor? Winter's coming. Let's get back to these two people who want to have our millions of Canadian families freeze out in the winter, the harsh Canadian winter, because they don't want to take the vaccine. Look at them. This is the face of evil. This is the new face of evil in our society. Forget about Osama bin Laden. Forget about Saddam Hussein. Forget about Hitler. Forget about Stalin. Forget about Mao. Forget about all these people. This is the new face of evil. 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 If you were to die and go to hell, these two people would be the first ones to greet you. Don't take it. Let them fire you. Let Justin Atake and Macdaddy Trudeau fire you from your government job. And let Omar Al-Gabra fire you from your airline and train job. If you don't want to take the vaccine, let them fire you. Then what you do is this. You go to the government and you take the money from them. Welfare, if you're in Ontario, ODSP, OW, if you need to falsify reports and stuff, I encourage that. I endorse it now. And this goes against everything I stand for because I've always been against living off the government. The government is now at war with us. They want to kill us. They want to kill us. So we need to, you talk about reparations for slavery. This is slavery right now. Let's get the reparations now while it matters instead of wait 200 years later when it don't matter, when we're all dead. Let's get it now. But if some reason you can't get it, you can't get OW, you can't get ODSP, you can't get welfare, you can't get EI because you were fired from your job for refusing to put a medication in your body, then the commander-in-chief of Arana Nation, yours truly, officially endorses stealing food and other essential goods. Now, listen to me here. I'm not advocating you going into the store and stealing the biggest, largest, most expensive big screen TV. I'm not encouraging you to go steal a Mercedes, but I'm encouraging vital, essential services, things that'll help you to survive. Food and shelter. I mean, do all those things. All those things. If your house if you can't pay the mortgage or you can't pay the rent, and I don't know. I believe the rent cap, the rent embargo has been put back, and the mortgage has too. But if it hasn't, and sheriffs come knocking on your door saying it's time to get out, you hadn't paid your rent, you hadn't paid your mortgage, you stand by and fight. I encourage violence in that case. Get guns, get knives, get sticks, and fight and kill. I'm encouraging it now. I'm encouraging, and I will pay the price for it. In fact, you won't catch me. You don't know where I am. You won't catch me. You won't catch me. And if you do catch me, I'll fight back, I'll kill, because this is legitimate advice I'm giving. The government is not going to get away with killing our people. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to say that right now. Justin Attackhead, Mac Daddy Trudeau, and Omar Al-Gabra are not getting away with killing a bunch of Canadian families because they refuse to take a vaccine. It's not going to happen. There will be blood on the streets. There will be blood on the streets. So I'm saying, hold your horses, stand firm, let them fire you. Let them fire you from your government job. Don't work for the government. The government is an evil entity, and now even the government workers are being attacked. You see government workers, you stood by and you allowed the little guy to get abused and taken advantage of, and now they're coming for you. Now they're coming for you. Now they're coming for you. But I ain't gonna stand away from you, because even if you stood by and you let them kill us and abuse us, I'm still with you. I'm still with you. I'm still with you. So that is my advice. That is my advice. We're gonna make it. There's nothing they can do to us. They won't win. It's not going to happen. There's more of us and less of them. It's not going to work. And don't think that what I'm saying is an exaggeration. These guys are literally saying, if you don't take this vaccine and you work for the government, you're going to be fired, and your family will be on the streets. Winter's coming up. Because you won't be able to pay your mortgage. You won't be able to pay your rent. You won't be able to buy food, and you'll be on the streets, starving, frozen to death. Don't allow them to do it. Get the money from the government, and if they don't give it to you, then you steal the essential goods that you need. Food, you stay in your home, you can't pay the mortgage, you can't pay the rent, you were fired, don't pay it. And I encourage that until this nonsense is done. This is your